So, we just received a brand new look at Resident Evil Requiem at the Game Awards. And oh my god, this might be the best trailer that I've ever seen from a Resident Evil game. I guess we can start by addressing the elephant in the room. Leon S. Kennedy is back, and he is looking so goddamn good, man. He's clearly aged up quite a bit from when we last saw him, and I love the added volume to his hair. His new jacket is very reminiscent to the one he wore in Resident Evil 4. It's nice to see that Capcom is retaining his classic look while adding a slight twist to it. I find the contrast between Grace's section and Leon's sections riveting. The difference of tone is emphasized in this trailer, as in Grace's perspective is leaning hard on survival horror, whilst Leon's is so unapologetically action focused. Hell, they even gave him cool ass music to accompany his grand reveal. It is awesome.
You there, Leon?
Outside of Leon's involvement in the game finally being answered, there are other smaller things that the trailer confirms. Like how at the end of the demo they've shown to the public countless times, Grace gets dragged by the new monster before the demo cuts abruptly. And now we know why. It's because Leon saves her in that exact moment shortly after. And the magnum she was holding in previous trailers was borrowed from Leon, given it's the exact weapon he was blasting the monster with. We get many shots of Leon riding his Porsche, which for one is extremely cool, and second, I believe this is a tease to one of Requiem's brand new mechanics for the series. Considering we're going back to Raccoon City, the car might become your main way of getting around it. Judging from the size of the map alone, we might potentially drive vehicles to traverse through the world. How cool would that be? Also, we can see Leon making his way to the city with his car, and I don't think that is a coincidence. At the very end of the trailer, they showed us a tiny glimpse of Leon's gameplay. So, let's get into it. The gameplay starts off by teasing us with a chainsaw-wielding zombie that instantly reminds us of Dr. Salvador. Leon's replies with a quirky one-liner.
Think I want a second opinion.
Very funny, Leon. Then we see Leon in action with his pistol. I'll say this right now, just from those small seconds, the game looks very well polished. I love how the enemy's attacks interact with the game's assets, and how they react when they knock into their fellow brothers. It seems like Capcom is still pushing for immersion like they did with the more recent remakes. Leon's kick is brought back and the animation looks snappy. The knockback effect is hilarious as Zombie gets thrown across the room this time around. Next, we see Leon perform what looks to be an execution style kill, as he blows up a zombie's head with his pistol. I'm curious as how this is going to work. Do you have to target certain limbs to unlock these skills, or does it work in a different way that we haven't seen before? The move looks powerful and I hope it doesn't trivialize the game's difficulty. To top it all off, Leon pulls one of his most ridiculous stunts of his career as he uses the chainsaw against one of the zombies. Just absolute crazy work, Capcom. Hats off to you. But let's dive a little deeper. When Leon is revving up his ultimate attack, there is a visual cue in the HUD, indicating us that he's currently using the chainsaw. Once the attack is performed, the HUD switches back to the pistol. What we can conclude from this is that the chainsaw is not necessarily a weapon from Leon's arsenal, but a weapon he picks up from other enemies. Now this raises questions such as how much can you use a chainsaw before it breaks or just no longer becomes available? And can Leon grab other melee weapons outside of the chainsaw? Only time will tell. But speaking of melee weapons, in a small snippet of a cutscene, we see Leon killing infected with an axe. And we can see that very weapon in the HUD. We don't actually see him use it in game, but we do get something to chew on. There is a durability bar displayed right next to it, meaning it will probably break by abusing it too much. Could this be the replacement of the knife from Resident Evil 4 Remake? However, instead of it being used as a defense option, this time it could be used as more of an offensive option. I can't wait to see this bad boy in action. On a final note, I love the visual style of the game. It has a noir aesthetic to it. Presentation wise, it reminds me of movies like The Batman and Seven, which I'm all in for, by the way. I think it looks cool as fuck. The grim look combined with the more absurd horror tones is making me believe we're in for an experience like no other. Before I leave it there, I have one more thing to say to Capcom. Please do not kill off Leon. I've seen people on Twitter point out that Leon seems to have an infected wound on his neck, which suggests the possibility of his farewell. Look, I don't mind if this is his final game, but please, whatever you do, do not kill him, Capcom. I beg you.